Grand Rising Divine Legends. Reverend Gigi Jenkins here, revering the truth of oneness and unity that begins within. This practice is really to release any stagnant energy that might be in there, just to release some energy and stretch. And we are going to first open up because it is Monday, and where I would typically in the past have done an Ascension Anthem call where I picked a song for the week and I unpack the universal law for that week. Well, I'm skipping the Ascension Anthem. I'm coming straight to the mat, getting into the practice, also incorporating some silent meditation here at the end. This day is directing me a little bit different. And so I'm going by the leading of my higher self spirit within me. And I am going to bring the universal law card into the practice. And then we're going to get into the practice. And then we're going to end with a 22-minute. I did say 22 minutes. It's a challenge. It's profound. What can doesn't mean it will. We don't go in with expectation. But the silence is a skill to develop. Silent meditation is an absolute skill to develop. I started to develop the deeper silent meditation some years ago with my mentor, Dr. Erin Fall Haskell, who put out these 52 universal law cards for your spiritual awakening. And we're going to practice it today. And I'll tell you why more as we get along. So let's start with a spiritual mind treatment, because I know that prayer is powerful and the words that we declare out set the intention for the time that we're together. And so I'm going to rub my hands together to remind myself I'm a powerful creator, creating this practice to share with the world for those that are ready to go deeper within to the infinite well of wisdom. So creating that heat reminds me I'm a powerful creator. Also bringing the left and right hemisphere, the hands together, right? It's the picture of the left and right hemispheres of the brain unionizing. Also the the egoic energy and the egoic energy, which is the masculine and feminine within each one of us, coming into the true twin flame union. And I'm going to place one hand on the heart and the other on top of the hand, taking that heat close to my heart, hearing my heart beat for me, taking a big breath. Blowing that out like a candle. And recognizing the oneness with the infinite intelligence in which I move. And breathe and have my being in which I express as a fractal, sitting on a mat in a new space to tape classes, to continue offering to the world through Yada Yoga, the vehicle of being still and knowing the truth of who we are. Taking another big breath. Blowing it out like a candle. Recognizing that it is within the practice that has brought so much healing within my experience, has brought my fractured mind into the sound mind, has brought my divided heart into the sound heart, the one heart, the heart that has no circumference, the heart that is infinitely expressing love and joy and peace and harmony and abundance and goodness and vitality and health and wealth. And on and on and on, infinitely expressing as we see through nature all the time. Taking another breath. Blowing it out like a candle. Knowing and knowing and knowing and believing to every deep core of my cells that I am the life force that expresses through the moon and the sun and the stars and the planets and the grass and the bees and the birds and the babies and the water and the air and the fire. and all of the earth, the same life force running through every created thing is me expressing. Taking one last breath. Blowing it out and releasing this practice out into the ethereal realm, out into the quantum field, to be watched, to be received, to be practiced by many, knowing that this is truth going out. And we're lifting this up into the divine mind with so much gratitude to have this practice, to have the space, to have this platform to share with each other. An energetic exchange together. We say, so it is, knowing that as I take you onto your mat, as I guide us into a deeper place of knowing truth, we are changing the reality around us. We are. It's the truth, the universal law of transcendence. And wow, am I so thankful that we got this card today, because so much of why I'm here is because I've had the courage to go into the dark spaces within me. I have had the courage to face the shadows within me. This practice of stretching and strengthening and balancing has allowed me to find that magical middle, that equanimity, that peace over and over and over and over and over, has allowed me to face the shadows, come back to the light, face the shadows, come back to the light, face the pain, come back to joy, face the sadness, come back to the vitality of life, knowing that it's all unfolding perfectly, permanently, that as we process the grief, we process the pain, we release it, we expand. It is the truth. The universal law of transcendence is revere the dark side of life. So often we are afraid. We are afraid to feel the pain. We are afraid to see the shadows within ourselves. We are afraid to know that there's darkness within ourselves. We want to say it's out there. We want to say it's you. We want to say it's you. We want to say it's this thing. We want to blame that thing. We want to blame this story. We want to say it was because of this and that and this. When we're ready to have the courage to do the deep dive work that I'm all about, we're going to find this law of transcendence coming through. This law is based on the axiom that all of life is designed for spiritual growth and awakening. You will find more light as you go deep into the darkness, knowing the truth that you're not alone, knowing that you are infiniteness expressing. You are the God idea. God isn't a term I even really go to much more anymore, because it's been tainted and twisted and there's so much connotation around it. And I'm so clear that that term does not signify some big man in the sky, but it is a spirit. There's a spirit that is infinitely expressing through, as, us, around, all, in and out. And as we align to spirit expressing through us, through our own authentic expression, it's finding your authentic expression. It's aligning to your true expression, what you came here to express, who you came here to be. You are constantly demanded to go beyond your limiting beliefs and expand your consciousness through relative experiences, rising above all circumstances. As you transcend your beliefs, going beyond your limited perceptions, you are able to embody the truths of the universe and experience your divinity. By drawing this card, it indicates you are on the right path. If you found this practice, you are on the right path, divine legend. This message is the divine sign that you are following your calling and your dreams. Be still and know everything is unfolding perfectly. And when we're at the end of the stretching, asana, movement work in this practice, again, I will set the timer and we will sit for 22 minutes, practicing being still and knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. Everything your heart desires is manifesting now. It is a time to live with faith and let go of any doubt. This note is the confirmation you have been asking from the universe. It is time to celebrate. And that act of sitting in silence for 22 minutes is a very clear indication of your level of faith, of the being able to sit in the stillness and know truth. We do it with breath. We do it with the breath. So let's start. Let's start rolling the shoulders back. This practice won't be very long. It's really meant to get my body feeling stretched and nourished. I'm looking around because I did have a scrunchie on my wrist at some point to put my hair up with. And because we're going to get a little energetic in our practice, I'm going to find my hair tie quickly and come back to you. And since I took myself up, we will start standing. So come on up to the top of your mat. Find your mountain pose, your feet parallel to your hips, or maybe a little wider if you need a little more space there. Toes are pointing forward, finding the balls of your feet, heels of your feet, wiggling, grounding down, maybe bouncing a little bit, wiggling toes. You're so weighted into your feet. You want to feel grounded down. Then lift the kneecaps, pull the pelvic floor in and up, roll the shoulders away from your ears, tuck the chin slightly. Palms can be forward or turn to the thighs. You can decide if you need something a little bit different. If you've got tightness in the shoulders, you don't want to put the palms forward. You can decide to adjust your practice to accommodate your body. This is a relationship we're building with our own body, and we really want to make our practice nourishing and healing for us. It is not just to look good. It is to feel balanced in our bodies. Taking a couple breaths here to ourselves. The belt stays tight to protect your low back. Your kneecaps are engaged, so your quads are turned on. You're not locking your knees out. Close the eyes, feel down into the feet. Notice if your arches are lifted really high or if they're kind of caved in, and just see if you can evenly distribute the weight through the whole foot, feeling those arches gently lifted. Taking one more breath here. Tailbone is soft, long through the whole spine. You feel the string coming off the top of your head. You're standing so tall. Open the eyes and inhale those arms overhead. Grab your right wrist, lean to the left. Inhale, reach up, spread those fingers so you feel the whole side of the body stretch. Grab the left wrist and lean to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean to the left. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean to the right. You're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Belt is tight. Shift the weight into the left leg. Inhale, flex that right foot and draw the knee up to your hip height. Stepping back into short stance, warrior one. 45-degree angle on that back foot. Immediately pulling that back hip forward, feeling the engagement of the glute. Front knee over ankle. Pressing palms together, and we'll inhale, arms up. And exhale, elbows down to the shoulders, palms are forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open up the chest as you inhale. Feel that nice stretch through the collarbone. Exhale, tuck a little bit. Bring the elbows together in front of your face. 2 more times. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close it. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. One more. Inhale, open up. And as you step forward, close it up. Inhale, reach up. Grab the right wrist, lean to the left. Inhale, reach up. Grab the left wrist, lean to the right. Inhale. Hands through heart center as you exhale, pressing palms. We'll weight into the right leg. We'll lift that left leg, flex it, knee to hip height. Inhaling. Stepping back, short stance, warrior one. 45-degree angle on that back foot. Pull that hip forward. Feel the glute engaged. Light bend in that knee over the ankle. Keep your tailbone long. Pelvic floor neutral. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows to shoulder height. Palms forward. We'll inhale, pull the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blade to open up the chest. Exhale, Round and scoop a little bit. Bring the elbows together in front of you. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round and scoop. One more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round and scoop. You're going to inhale, open up. Step forward as you round and scoop a little bit. And then inhale, reach up. We're going to dive forward. Bring the hands through heart center, hinge at the waist, find flat back as you come down, rounding at the bottom. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold. We'll do that 2 more times. It feels so good on the backs of my legs. Inhale, reach up. Pulling shoulders back away from ears, pulling the glutes up so you feel the stretch down that hamstring. Exhale, fold down. One more. Inhale, reach up. Lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the legs. Exhale, fold down. You're going to plant the hands, step right leg back, find a low lunge. Stay here for a moment, get a couple breaths. Taking that hip flexor down toward the mat. So you're stretching it, but that knee, that heel stays high. This knee right over ankle. Fingers stay connected to the earth so you are balanced here. Maybe look up, taking that hip flexor stretch a little deeper, taking one more breath here. And then we're going to dance or twist from here. So lengthen through the neck, gazing down at that front edge. Bring that right hand close to the left foot. Reach that left arm up as you exhale. Inhale, reach it back towards your heel. Exhale, you sweep it forward. 2 more big arm circles with the breath. Go slow, don't tear anything. Following that deep, smooth breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale as you frame the foot with the hands, step into plank pose, hold and breathe. Let that heat build. So you want to find the hips are up towards your shoulder height. They're not down here. Lift them up, engage your abs more. You're gazing out your front edge, keeping a long neck and spine. You can turn the head no a couple times, take some tension out of the neck. Tuck the chin and lift it. Say yes a couple times here. Building that heat in your body, just finding the stillness. And then we'll move through a high-low push-up. We'll go to the knees this first pass through. So we're going to shift forward onto the toes, making room for the whole shoulder girdle. Squeeze the tennis ball under your arms, engaging those biceps and triceps. Dropping to the knees, we'll come all the way down to the mat. Skimming the body with the elbows. Draw the shoulders away. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And baby cobra, using just your core, not your hands. Inhaling up. Exhaling, releasing. 2 more, finding that length through your thoracic spine, so not crunching through the neck or upper back, but finding length. 1 more. Inhale, using the strength of your core, finding the length through the whole spine. And then exhale, float down. We'll tuck the toes. We'll push the hips into the heels. Keep the elbows close to the body. And then exhale, hips up, first down dog. Walking the dog as it feels good. Or maybe finding stillness if that feels better. You get up here and you say, nope, not yet. You can come down to your child pose and get that instead. I'm moving energy out of my body, so I'm moving a little bigger in this practice. If something more gentle is what you're looking for, this isn't the one. I'd say pause and go find another one. This is a bigger movement. Find the stretch to find the release. I'm going to walk toward my front edge, bigger than I normally do, baby stepping. I'm taking bigger steps, feeling a good stretch down the leg, but going a little quicker into that forward fold at the top of the mat. Knees are slightly bent, keeping the belly resting on the thighs. I'll grab the elbows with opposite hands to release through the low back, a little bit of swaying from side to side. Let the hands go heavy. You're going to root down. You're going to rise up and sweep the arms overhead. Maybe look up as the hands come together and draw through heart center on your exhale. We're going to go to the other side. So I'm just going to turn around. Since we were down there for a little bit and I don't want to face away from you. Finding mountain pose on this side, palms pressed together, belts tight. Inhale, reach up. We're forward folding. If you want to bring hands through heart center again, you can, or swan dive with the hands nice and wide. You got options there. Halfway lift on your next inhale. And exhale, fold down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Lengthening, and then exhale, fold it down. Last one, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Left leg steps back for low lunge. We're going to take that moment to stretch the hip flexor. So we stay connected with the fingers. We keep that heel lifted and back. We drop that hip flexor a little bit toward the mat to get a good stretch, and then we can increase it by looking up. So just lifting that chin, you'll feel that increase. Keep that knee over ankle. I noticed I got to step out a little more. I could tell my knee was too far over those toes. I want that good alignment of knee over ankle, always protecting the joints, right? It's really important as we practice. Taking one more breath here. And then we're going to dance or twist and get that big arm circle. So we're going to draw that left hand close to the right foot. We're going to reach that right arm up. Keep the knee pulling in. It wants to fall out, but you're engaging the IT band to keep it close over that ankle. Inhaling, reaching back. And exhaling, reaching forward. 2 more. Go slow with control. Feeling that good stretch through the whole shoulder girdle. 1 more. Exhale, sweep forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, frame your foot. Find your plank pose. And we'll move through our high-low push-up. Inhale, shift forward. Squeeze that tennis ball under your arms. Knees or toes will lower down. Next breath is up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. We're going to move through that same series. A few more times, taking a couple more breaths here in stillness, or the child pose if you need it. Last breath. Inhaling, finding the tippy toes, bending the knees slightly, looking at thumbs. We walk, step, or hop into that front edge with our exhale. Halfway lift on the inhale. And exhale, fold down on the root down, rise up, sweep up. Exhale, hands into heart center. I'm just going to turn away from the plant, and we're going to move through that high-low push-up, chaturanga crocodile a few more times, getting all the energy out of the body before we prepare for our silent meditation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, or you can pull the hands through heart center if that feels better to you. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down, put the hands under the shoulder, step back in your plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Squeeze that tennis ball. Exhale, knees or toes all the way, skimming the body with the elbows. Halfway lift or up dog with that next inhale, and then exhale, down dog. 1 breath. Inhale, tippy toes, knees bent. Look at the thumbs, walk, step, hop to that front edge with your exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up, maybe look up. Draw hands through heart center on the exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lift. Find your plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Squeeze that tennis ball. Exhale, knees or toes. Inhale, lift. Child pose, knees together, or you can take the knees apart, keep your big toes together, make a little more space if your hips want that. And your low back can handle it. If you need more support for the low back, keep your knees together. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. Breathe in here. While you're here, lift your head just a bit and turn the head slowly from side to side. Say no a couple of times. Stay in your breath. Come through center. Lifting chin and tucking, saying yes a couple times. Go slow, stay in your breath. And letting that go. We'll take the hands over to the right side, get a nice lateral lean here. You can cross the left hand on top of the right. You could turn your gaze up under that armpit and get a little deeper stretch down into your side hip. One more breath. Exhaling all the way. We inhale over to that other side. Know that those same options are available to us over here. Breathe in there. Inhale through center. Exhale as you lift up into tabletop and then turn yourself seated toward me. We're going to find a seated position, stretch a little bit more through the neck and shoulder areas, and then get into our silent meditation. So you can butterfly your feet with me, or you can take that simple seated, crossing the legs in the direction that feels right for you. This feels like too much, right? I'm going to say come here instead. You can also push your heels away from you to make it less intense. But I want an even distribution through the legs while we stretch the shoulders. So you're going to find a tall spine. Sit nice and tall. Feel your sit bones underneath you. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. And let's get into the neck first. So inhaling as you drop your right ear into your shoulder. And exhale there. Inhale this left arm out. Spreading the fingers. And then I'm making a fist as you tuck your thumb and roll your wrist out. Inhale, spread those fingers again. Turn that palm away as you exhale. Draw that arm behind you. It can stop on the outside of that left hip, or it can come to the mid back. Maybe it'll come all the way over to the right hip. Drop that left shoulder down. Breathe into that. On your next inhale, you'll release the arm and drop the chin into the chest. As you exhale, lift the chin slowly up. Maybe take it back a little bit if your cervical spine can handle that. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, chin down. Exhale, lift it up and back. One more, inhale it down. Exhale it up and back. Inhale, left ear into left shoulder. Exhale there. Inhale your right arm out, spreading fingers. Exhale, tuck the thumb in, cross the fingers over the thumb, and then roll the wrist out. Stay in your breath. Inhale, spread the fingers. Exhale, turn the palm away, draw it behind you wherever it's going to find its way on this side, and then drop that right shoulder down. Taking one more breath. Inhale, release the arm, drop the chin into the chest. And exhale, head up to neutral position. We'll inhale this left arm over the chest as this right arm locks it into place. Exhaling as we look over that left shoulder. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale, switch. And then exhale, look over that shoulder. Keeping shoulders very soft, pulling down from the ears. 2 more breaths. Release that. Find an easy seated position from here. I'm going to set a timer. We're going to close the eyes down. We're going to find ourselves sitting straight. Hands can be at the knees. They could be crossed on top of each other, thumbs touching in your lap. They could be on the heart. You could be in prayer. And you can switch your arms up. And that may help you get through the 22 minutes. Because if you haven't done this yet, it will be a challenge. It will be. But you can do it. If you're determined and you decide, you can. And we're doing it together. And we go in with no expectation, but really practicing the deep faith and trust in our journey perfectly unfolding permanently. So we sit with that faith and that knowing, and perhaps we'll come away with I'm going to say something, a nugget of wisdom. A nugget of wisdom is what I'm looking for. Yes. So here we go. Breathing easy. There's no breath work here. Allow the silence to take you deep within. And there we are. If you made it the whole time, or if you fast forwarded to the end, I'm so proud of you for joining me. I had to straighten out my legs. My feet were falling asleep toward the end. You know, it's okay to move around and get comfortable too, again, when we're doing that. But I just want to say how proud I am of us for being here and exhibiting the deep faith in the being still and the taking the breaths and the knowing that our journey, our evolutionary process is perfectly unfolding permanently. And we are on board with our own evolutionary process. And I'm also very aware that the skill of the be still and know, the skill of the silent meditation is going to be a crucial skill for future days. So I hope that you will come back to this practice in particular again and again, or maybe on your own, take your own timer and begin to practice silent meditation in your own journey. The light in me honors, cherishes, delights in that same light in you, divine legend. Namaste.